Hello and welcome to another edition of Iron Port, the program that has been specifically designed to bring Ghana's ports and maritime industry closer to you. It is proudly brought to you by the Ghana Revenue Authority, GOIL, PLC, Serene Insurance, Ghana Link, Meridian Port Services, and Phoenix Insurance. Iron Port is powered by the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, and our media partner is the Business and Financial Times. Viewers, this week we are bringing to you a very important subject, one that has been a running theme in a lot of our previous discussions. I'm talking about the implementation of the Axel load policy. This week we touched on this subject extensively, where we had with us an official from the Ghana Highway Authority to help us better appreciate the issues surrounding this policy implementation, which is ultimately intended to promote safety on our roads. This is an excerpt of that discussion. Take a listen.
We often hear some complaints, from transporters. They say that you deploy some axle way bridges that that bring out different measurements. So you take your goods to, let's say, weighing point A, and then it will weigh differently. You go to the B, and it also weighs differently. Why is this the case, and is this consistent with global practices?
Yes, thank you very much. And I think it's a very good platform today to educate these transporters and drivers. We have three types of weighing skills. We have the full-size weigh bridge. Then we have the single axle weigher. Then we have the weighing parts. The weighing parts goes with the vans for monitoring and at the checkpoint. Then the full-size weigh bridge is the one that we see at Tema, Akom, which is Offenso Road. So we need all this weigh bridge. The full-size weigh bridge is a way that it's a static weigh bridge.
Yeah.
You drive onto it for some few seconds. It takes all the axles and gives you the gross weight.
Okay.
Then we have the single axle weigher, which we call the weigh in motion. It checks the axle by axle as you are moving on. So it determines each loadings on the axles.
Okay.
Yes. So in all aspects, all this helps us to determine that this axle is loaded, this axle is not loaded, so that if we can share and distribute uniformly of the load, then you distribute it uniformly, then you can continue your journey. Yes. So it's not like we have an intention to apprehend somebody. It's about controlling the overloads.
And they all serve the same purpose?
They all serve the same purpose. They all serve the same purpose. Yes. So they should know that we are not there to apprehend or
harass them.
Harass them. It's about controlling. You see, when you comply, people comply and they are not overloaded, and they are not overloaded, then they move to their journey. You just check your weight and you're okay and you're moving. But if you check and you are overloaded, it will definitely apprehend you. You shed off, reweigh, then you continue your journey. Yes.
But, what is the compliance rate? Are you able to share that with us?
If I should, currently they are complying. Because I would say when we came in, the overloads were about 5.14, but that's reduced to about 2.3. That was for our second quarter this year. Yeah, so you can see the difference in gap of the overloads so people are complying, although there's increase in trucks that we are currently assessing the weigh bridge stations. The volumes of trucks that are accessing the weigh bridge stations has also increased. Yes, but that means there's compliance, and then the overloads have also reduced. But let me put this across that these are trucks that uses the weigh bridge stations.
But there are others that don't use?
There are others that don't use.
But they are loaded with goods.
I can't confirm that, but it is. So right now, management is trying to procure more vans so that we go on monitoring to alternative routes that the truck or the truck drivers are using to monitor them.
Yes, but is it that all trucks are supposed to use these way bridges, right?
Yes,
All trucks,
all trucks beyond
certain limits.
3 tons and above, you understand, are supposed to use the way bridges. That is why today I brought you the road traffic regulation,
Okay.
2012 LI 2180.
Okay.
All trucks are supposed to use.
This is backed by law.
This is backed by law. It is backed by law. I'm not the one saying it. It is backed by
So
law.
how come then you have some trucks that do not use the way bridge? Is it that they declare their weight and say, we are below 3 tons, so we don't want to use the weight?
For instance, when you take the fuel tankers, for instance, we check them and we realize that you are always in the permissible limit. So it is not necessary to come and weigh. But once in a while, we do check them to see whether they are within the permissible limits. Yes. Yeah.
So,
Then
okay.
The other ones, there are trucks like the mining equipment that carry the mining equipment and other things. Today, I want to use this platform to tell them that they are supposed to come for a waiver. Any truck that is applying the road needs to come for a permit, either from the minister or chief executive.
Okay.
Before he can transport his or her goods, whether they are explosives, they are combustible, those trucks, mining trucks, they always have to come for a waiver, a permit, before they can transport whatever they have to transport to their various destinations. In terms of weighing, we have, as I've told you and I've explained, we have types of weighing scales, but then there are factors that affect the readings. You can't have the same reading across. It might be plus or minus, but all depends on, I would say, perception of the driver.
Perception
of the driver.
Of the driver.
That is one.
Okay.
Then 2, that is driver's perception. Mm-hmm. Then 2, the tire pressure of the truck. 3, the speed at which they approach the weigh bridge.
Okay.
Then I would say the last but not the least, the fuel. Fuel can also cause
the kind of fuel in the car.
Yes,
the truck.
Depending on if let's say you weigh with a full tank at Tema, and you travel all the way from Tema to, let's say, Kumasi, and you get to our offenso, it's plus and minus. You understand?
Yeah.
Fuel can affect it, but we know the range within which it falls within.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
When it comes to the driver's perception, normally drivers don't like weighing. So at the moment they see a weigh bridge, it's already, way bored. So he might drive at a certain speed he's not supposed to drive at. And then the standard speed you are supposed to drive onto a weigh bridge is 5 kilometers per hour. You understand?
Yeah.
So if you are able to listen to our staffs when they control you, listen to them, you get your readings correctly.
Okay, so is it that don't you have any speed limit at the entrance of these way skills, just to tell or you prompt the driver that you are approaching the weigh bridge, so your speed needs to be within maybe.
We have signs on before the weigh bridge, then then we have our staff who controls the speed of the distance of the trucks. So, but then at the station, we are now putting things in place to even put those signs at individual stations, both in English and in French. Yes. So it is in the pipeline so that we can control all this weight differences at the various stations. Okay.
So you are saying there are 4 causes of these differences in the weight. 1, perception of the driver, and tire pressure.
The tire pressure.
So if your tire pressure is low,
yes, it can cause a difference.
Okay.
When you have a fully inflated tire pressure.
Yeah, so it goes up.
You understand?
Yeah.
Yes, but when you have a low pressure,
So it's coming down.
yeah. So what do you think the?
But I mean, what? I mean, yes, the tire pressure, fine, but
It causes the variation in readings.
okay.
But that doesn't determine whether your truck is overloaded or not. Do you understand?
Okay.
That is why I would say it doesn't give you, so you can't weigh at Tema. If your tire pressure is low and you get to Kumasi, you have the same readings, just like Tema.
Okay.
That is why I would say it is plus and minus.
Okay.
Yeah, it gives a variation in readings. Yes.
But I'm curious to know the speed, how the speed that the drivers use to approach the way bridge also contribute to the.
The speed and the perception works together.
Okay.
Some of the drivers think is when they speed off the way bridge, the weight will not, the exact weight will not be determined, which is also true. Because the moment you speed on a way bridge, it either increases the weight of the load,
Okay.
or reduces it, depending on the kind of load that you are carrying. You understand?
Yeah.
So the slower you goes, it determines the exact weight on the way bridge.
All right.
You understand?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So let's move on. So I want to find out how often are your skills calibrated, and how is the process regulated to guarantee the integrity of the skills at all times?
Okay. We are working in collaboration with the Ghana Standard Authority.
Okay.
That they calibrate the way bridge every 6 months. And actually, we have our service providers that they calibrate, service the station, service the way bridge, and calibrate them. Then Ghana Standard Authority will come in to verify, see whether it falls within the calibrated weight limit.
Okay.
So every 6 months, they come in to verify.
Okay.
Yes. Then our service at
Every 6 months.
Every 6 months. And so at any point in time, we also compare our readings to the various stations across. So when, in a case where you realize that we have a weight, differential weights, we call them in, we call the service provider in to calibrate, then we call the Ghana Standard Authority to come and verify.
Okay.
So it's always, often. Yes, often.
Okay. I need a quick answer to this particular question. Is it true that your Axel control stations are required to be financially sustaining and even giving financial targets or threshold to meet? Is this the case? And because of that, even if a truck is said not to be overloaded, they tell you, hey, you're overloaded just to meet their target. Is this true?
In fact, the Axle load control unit is not a revenue-making institution.
Okay.
Department.
Okay.
Our aim is to control overload.
Okay.
And make sure we prevent the investment made on the road infrastructure.
Okay.
You understand?
Yes.
Yes. So what I have to say to the public is that we are not happy collecting the fines. Sometimes we go and we are dreaming and thinking of how we get zero overload on our, because the moment you get zero overload,
it means your roads are safe.
And it prolongs the lifespan of the road infrastructure.
Okay. All right.
You understand?
Yeah.
So the fines, that is a penalty. So if we get zero overloads, that means we'll not be getting any fines.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So it's not sustainable, venture.
So that was Engineer Albert Osai Anan helping us appreciate the role of the Ghana Highway Authority in the implementation of the Axle load policy. Now let us pick a few comments on the subject we have just discussed after we go on break, and then we'll be back with more news. Stay tuned.
Raptor from Kaswa says, how will trucks at the port pass the weighing test and somewhere in the hinterlands we get a whole different reading and they are penalized even when the goods have custom seals? Well, Raptor, according to the guest from the Ghana Highways Authority, they are working in collaboration with stakeholders from the port to ensure a standard permissible limit.
Ohima, no be taking number first. By you. You have to say take the number give me.
Guys, no, I'm tired. I'll go on a date with whoever gets here first.
Princess, really? Okay. I dey come.
Shut up!
Mame, feel me talking about what? Boss, fill my tank with Super XP Ron 95.
Fuel up with Super XP Ron 95 and Diesel XP high performance products from Goyle.
Sorry, Tony got here first, so I'm stepping with him.
Oh, cut him. Hey, go for mami.
Choose Super XP Ron 95 and Diesel XP for an energizing driving experience. Always go for Goyle Super XP Ron 95. Goyle, good energy.
Electricity, then pay your taxes. Yeah. Our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, streetlights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. Talga, my money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Salifo, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is, you still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, when put together, could give your community clean water or that deprived school with tables and chairs. Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
Impressive factory. If only I had listened to you, I wouldn't have been in this mess. That devastating fire virtually wiped out the whole factory and my warehouse.
Remember my misfortunes last year? Serene Insurance Asset All Risk Fire policy that I took were there to pay for my damaged stocks in the warehouse, and my machines that were affected by the floods have been replaced. My accident vehicle is back on the road thanks to Serene Insurance motor policy. Currently, my goods are on the high seas covered with their marine cargo insurance policy. I was just telling Ajima about Serene Insurance.
Oh, Ajima,
tell him more.
As a road contractor, I make sure I do my contractors all risk insurance for the projects and then workers' compensation for all the workers on site. With Serene Insurance, they will make sure they will cover your unknown tomorrow today.
Serene Insurance, a new face of insurance. Call us now.
MPS Terminal 3 is Africa's new state-of-the-art container terminal at Tema Port. For manufacturers, agro-processors and traders, the new port means business can be done faster. This infrastructure boost will improve Ghana's port handling capacity, connect more trading routes, and oil the engine of growth for the economy, creating greater opportunities across all sectors as Africa's markets merge and become the largest trading bloc globally. MPS, we connect, you thrive.
Business and life can be like the sea sometimes. Sometimes serene, sometimes calm, sometimes turbulent, and at times it brings the unexpected. However it is like, trust Phoenix Insurance for your home, car, business, and marine insurance needs. Call 0302 246 319 or 0243 690 492.
At Phoenix, you experience a delightful service delivered with wisdom.
Welcome back from the break, viewers. Now let us pick other stories from our local port and maritime sector. The Minister of Infrastructure, Natural Resources and Environment of Sao Tomé, Adelino Rosa Cardoso, has expressed his country's desire to use the ports of Ghana, particularly the port of Takoradi, for their import and export. According to him, Ghana's location on the geographical map is a good point for exportation and importation of goods and services, which is beneficial to his country. He made this known when he toured the port of Tema in Takoradi with the Minister of Transport of Ghana, Kweku Ofori-Asiamah, as part of his visit to Ghana. He said Ghana's ports meet international standards. Therefore, it will serve both countries without any hindrance.
The port, because our location, Ghana in the South Tomé, you have very good location, and you want to use this location to have now the new cooperation in the new business to see how you can create one free zone to have the storage with the containers and to send it to South Tomé.
He commended the government for the total transformation of its ports, especially the Takoradi port. For his part, Kweku Ofori-Asiamah, Minister of Transport, said Ghana's Takoradi and Tema ports have been equipped with state-of-the-art modern infrastructure with an overwhelming capacity to serve the needs of both countries simultaneously.
Definitely, if you are going to use Ghana as a transport, it means that more cargoes are going to come. You are going to work on cargoes, and they are both import and export. So it is going to increase the tonnage as far as our port operation is concerned. And to them, because they don't have a deeper draft, the benefit to them is that when smaller vessels go into their country, from Europe into their country, the cost of shipment becomes high. But if they can do a federal shipping from Takoradi to Sao Tome, which is not far, it means that to reduce the cost of shipping, which will be beneficial to them.
He expressed optimism that the partnership between the two countries would yield the required dividends for both countries. Earlier, the delegation from Sao Tome visited the Ministry of Transport to discuss issues of mutual benefit.
The Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority on Friday, November 3, took delivery of 2 brand new 80-ton post-Panamax tugboats. The tugboats are aimed at augmenting the equipment and machinery strength of the port to allow for increased efficiency. The 2 boats have been christened Group Captain Edward Awuvri and Nestor Pesigali, 2 former Director Generals of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority. Commenting on the acquisition and arrival of the new state-of-the-art tugboats, the Director of the Port of Tema, Sandra Opoku, who deputized for the Director General, Mike Luguje, described the arrival of the boats as a major boost to operations in the port. She pointed out that with the new addition, there was bound to be improved and increased efficiency with quick turnaround time. Sandra Opoku assured of the Port Authority's determination to continue to offer the best of services to its clients.
This is also to help in our productivity, to shorten the time spent at anchorage and even in shifting the vessels from berth to anchorage when they are done with operations. So this is a good addition to our big fleets that we have.
The harbour master for the Port of Tema, Captain Francis Kwesi Maika, on his part described the 2 new tugboats as multi-purpose boats that will significantly improve operations in the port.
Currently, we're able to handle 366-meter long container vessel, and their plans are full to handle 400 meters. These crafts are well suited to handle that, but importantly, they have very excellent firefighting capabilities. That is entirely different, the advanced form of what we currently have.
Trade Facilitation Company and operators of the Integrated Customs Management System at Ghana's ports, Ghana Link Network Services Limited, has made donations of items and cash worth 550,000 Ghana cedis to persons affected by the spillage from the Akosombo Dam. The donation by Ghana Link Network Services Limited was made to the Agbetikpo camp, which is the second largest camp with some 1,200 displaced persons. The 500,000 Ghana cedi worth of items donated by Ghana Link include 250 bags of 25 kg rice, 100 boxes of oil, 50 cartons of sardines, 100 blankets, 20 boxes of Dettol, 300 cartons of bottled water, 100 bags of sugar, 150 pillows, 150 mattresses, 200 packs of toiletries, and 100 sanitary towels. Additionally, 50,000 Ghana cedi cash donation was given to the victims, meant to help with mobilization efforts in moving the items to the 21 camps scattered in the district. Speaking on behalf of the executive chairman of the company, Dr. Nick Dansueje, the director of operations at Ghana Link, Raymond Amaglo, noted the donation is to empathize with persons affected by the spillage.
When one person in the family is affected, the entire family is affected. So we at Ghana Link decided that we need to empathize with our brothers and sisters who have been affected by this situation.
He assured that more of such donations would be made to bring comfort to them.
We will be coming again because considering the situation under which they are living, we need to do something which is very, very impactful.
Receiving the donation on behalf of the affected persons, Paramount Queen Mother of the Bato traditional area, Mamaga Asiaku, on behalf of the chiefs and queens of the Bato traditional area, thanked Ghana Link for the donation, adding that it will go a long way to relieve them of their suffering. Let us now turn our attention to the global stage and see what is happening there. The European Commission has included Tangier and Port Said, two pivotal transshipment hubs, in the European Union's revamped carbon pricing regime for ships. The EU Emission Trading System Directive for the maritime sector aims to address emissions in the shipping industry by introducing carbon tax to cover their emissions and encourage more sustainable practices. It's now time for our Word of the Day segment, where we introduce words, phrases, jargons, and terminologies that we often use in this industry so you can get familiar with them. Today we'll tell you what we mean when we say a vessel is running aground. Running aground occurs when there is no longer deep enough water to float a vessel. This will sometimes be done intentionally, for instance, to perform maintenance or to land cargo. But more than likely, it occurs due to misinformation about water depth, operator error, or a change in the bottom structure of a waterway. Let us now take a look at the schedule of vessels that have berth in the ports of Tema and Takrade and at the anchorages of both ports, as well as those expected in the coming weeks, plus the Bank of Ghana exchange rates, which you may need to know to clear your cargo with. Alright viewers, this is where we close today's edition of Eye on Port. We hope you've been informed and educated. Remember, all Eye on Port content can be found on our YouTube channel, Eye on Port. Subscribe, like, share our videos, and give us feedback. Thank you for watching.